Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the Cadillac Lyriq 600 E4, aka the super fast all-wheel drive version. Before we get into this video, I'm going to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Provo Cadillac for giving me some time with this Lyriq. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So the Cadillac Lyriq with this version has a dual electric motor setup paired to a 102 kilowatt hour battery pack. This provides 307 miles of range, and then power outputs on this are a whopping 500 horsepower and then 450 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, it is absolutely enormous, super wide design, but it gives the Lyriq a lower appearance. And then popping down below, we've got this really cool headlight design, and it'll kind of slowly fill in when you unlock the car. It does take a second for the animation, as you can see, but once it happens, it happens. It's kind of a cool effect. But notice the whole front end's mostly closed off for aerodynamic efficiency, and overall, I like the design of the Lyriq for a fully electric vehicle, but let me know what you guys think. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 265, 50, 20 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see with the wheels, you've got the silver mixed with the blacked out elements. And notice the wheels mostly closed off for aerodynamic efficiency. You can see the fender flares all blacked out. Same thing with all the trim on the side, except there's a little bit of silver trim right there. And then you got the cool pop-out door handles, and then you got the nice trim around the windows. And here's your full side view with the Lyriq. It has a really sleek design. Now taking a look at the key fob, we have our lock and unlock function, remote start, we got the opening for the hatch, and then the Cadillac emblem. And then popping into the rear, you can see there's quite a bit of cargo space here in the back of the Lyriq, which I think is cool. Got the Cadillac emblem right there, and then notice Cadillac right there as well. And when you're all done, you've got this nice button right here to just close the hatch right back down. Really cool taillight design with how that all connects together. And then the Cadillac emblem here in the back opens up the hatch just like on the Escalade. You can see 600 E4 right there, signifies the all-wheel drive one. And then even the taillights in the back and everything fill in. That's cool. But putting it all together, what do you guys think about the looks here of the Lyriq? Now taking a look at the door panel here, you can see soft touch at the top and then also down below. And then I love the look of the handle right there. Door lock and unlock, and then look at that trim that goes across. And then the seats are perforated all down the center portion there. Legroom in the back of the Lyriq's really good. We got a little storage pocket. I like how they're stitching all the way down the back of the seat. That's kind of funky. You got some vents here, some storage up above, and then little USBs down below. And then headroom, it's good. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you can see soft touch here at the top and then also down below. Got our little handle here. And then notice the controls here for the heated seats, and then your seat adjustments, memory seat function as well. All the window controls down below. The mirrors do power fold in, and then you got blind spot warning with the mirrors as well. And I love the look of the headrest there. And then again, the seat's perforated all down the center portion. Really nice padding on the seat itself. And then you got your parking brake here, lane departure, auto hold as well. And then nice soft touch trim on the dash. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, soft touch all around. You got the Cadillac emblem there in the center, and then you've got a bunch of practical controls on the front, like your phone controls, volume controls. You got your heated steering wheel button as well, and then you got the little regen paddle shifter. And then notice your turn signal stock, and then we do have our column shifter as well. And then just like the Escalade, we have this little side tab here that's associated with the center gauge cluster. But yeah, it is actually a touchscreen, which is interesting. You also have your light controls built into that. But when you press like the map view, it'll pop up here, energy, your regular gauge. It'll pop up here at the center gauge cluster, which is pretty cool. Now, Lyriq does come with a 360 camera system, just like other vehicles made by General Motors. And I think it's a really good camera system. Again, very similar to what you have on the Escalade. And that's kind of the theme with the Lyriq, is it's very similar to the Escalade. Obviously not in size, but in features. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, you basically have this little shortcut bar here at the bottom that you can go through different menus in the screen. It responds really well, has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And yeah, I mean, I think it's easy to use. You have your drive modes also built into the screen as well. You have a touring, sport, snow, and ice mode, and then a my mode that you can switch between. Down below, we've got our analog controls here for the climate, and then we have this little storage cubby that's blue inside. That is interesting. And there's USB and there's more blue down below. So I guess you gotta like blue with this. And then I love the finish on the cup holder. It's very premium looking. And then this is like an analog control for the infotainment system if you don't want to use the touchscreen volume control as well. And then center console's got plenty of storage. Got a wireless phone charging pad as well. And nice trim on the top. Now the Lyriq does have a glove box, nicely lined with felts. It is opened via the infotainment system, which is definitely interesting. And then we got our control here for the shade. I don't know why I said shade. That's not even a word. Anyways, shade for the sunroof. So here's our window sticker for this Lyriq. This is Luxury 1. A lot of stuff is standard, but we do have some options like the all-wheel drive system, for example. Total MSRP $66,585. And as of me filming this video right now, to my knowledge, this actually does now qualify for the federal tax credit because the Lyriq is considered an SUV rather than a crossover. So that means that if a vehicle is under $80,000, it can qualify. And this is over 7,000 pounds gross vehicle weight rating. So hypothetically, if you're a business owner, you could get the EV tax credit, and then you could also get the tax write-off with the Lyriq. So it could be a good vehicle to go for from that perspective. Let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, throughout the rest of the rear. And I always forget the Lyriq seat adjustments that they're on the side. Let us set off. I think the Lyriq is, I mean, I've talked about this. I think this is such a good EV. But now that General Motors was able to convince good old Uncle Sam that this is an SUV, which, by the way, I think it's so silly that the Fed just doesn't let, I mean, all these EVs are over, you know, 6,000 pounds gross vehicle rating. So like, just let them be, SUVs. That's just my personal take on that. Right? It's like if you really want people to adopt EVs, you gotta be open with your criteria of what will qualify for the tax credit. Otherwise, yeah, people aren't gonna go for EVs unless they get that discount, because that discount's important. But anyways, really smooth with the ride quality. And the one pedal on this is very aggressive, which I like, because again, that's kind of how an EV should feel. Actually, we'll pop it in the touring mode. It's in sport mode. Seats are comfortable. And I love the Lyriq interior. I think they did a really good job. Like all the soft touch trim they have throughout, and just how it's stylized. It's definitely a Cadillac, and I like that. Yeah, very, very smooth with the acceleration. Now, when you're just going partial throttle, there's not really a big difference between this and the two-wheel drive variant with the Lyriq. It's when you go full throttle that you can really feel the extra power of this version, which, don't worry, we'll get some full throttle action. I am struggling to talk today. New year, same speech impediments. But anyways, yeah, it's very comfortable. I really do think they've done a fantastic job with how it drives. So we'll pop it back into the sport mode here. I like the sounds it makes. It's cool. Kind of makes you feel like you're in a spaceship to an extent. Okay, so we'll get a little acceleration here, then we'll get another one. So smooth for an EV acceleration. Like it puts down the power really well, and it's just, there's a smoothness about it. There's an XT4. I think that's another cool new Cadillac. Okay. Like, it's quick. It's genuinely quick. But I mean, the biggest thing that's impressive is just the luxury drive. So, setting things up here. Yeah, I think that the all-wheel drive Lyriq's the one to go for, because it's not that much more expensive than the rear-wheel drive Lyriq. And so that's kind of my take on that. And I mean, noticing the take rate, it seems like more people are going for all-wheel drive rather than the rear-wheel drive. And then with the 24s now qualifying for the federal tax credit, I think this is, you know, from an EV perspective, I think this is that makes this the most appealing EV. I understand Teslas can be appealing, you know, post price cut, but the equipment you're getting, the styling you're getting, the driving experience you're getting for the price that this is at, the value is really good. And so yeah, I mean, I don't know, I think it's solid. I will say though, I mean, this is in the spirit of being transparent. I have seen some stuff like the Ultium, basically, what do they call it? The platform, the Ultium platform, having some glitches and everything. So, I mean, that is something to consider is, you know, this is newer technology, so there is stuff that you might have to deal with. But again, brand new vehicle with a warranty, so stuff's going to be covered under the warranty, but, you know, you might have to deal with potentially with some shop time with this car. Again, I don't know how widespread the problems are at this point, but anyways, let me know what you guys think about the Lyriq. But I still stand, now that this is an SUV and for sure qualifies for the tax credit, I think out of all the EVs that I've reviewed, this would be the one to get. Let me know what you think.